aspiring career professionals. I'm your host Manik. Welcome to another Career Insight Moment. And today we are going to look at and ask ourselves the question: why are you not getting enough calls for your interviews? You submit the resume, but you're waiting and you're not getting those calls. So why is that? Now, the entire recruitment and selection process is lengthy as well as complex. There are things in the recruitment selection process that are within your control and beyond your control. Within your control includes the effort and time spent in looking for a job, basically job hunting and researching. Then formulating of resumes is within your control. Getting the right format, make sure that your experience and your competencies match the job role, the length is right. So that is all, those are within your control. Then of course the application process, use the right digital medium, the right channel to reach the prospective employer or the hiring manager. Now, even the interview to a certain extent is within your control in terms of how you really perform at the interview. Now, you can look at researching and rehearsing the best answers, best practices, as well as how to connect subconsciously with the interviewer. You can tool yourself up, refine your skills. That is also within control. So the best you can really hope for is to give your best shot, right? Come up with your A game, your best performance. But what is not within your control in the entire recruitment selection process is the final decision or selection, because that resides with the interviewer. So it all depends on the degree of biases or the kind of the subjective influences he have towards making the final decision, and that's just beyond our control. My series of video clips will allow you to reduce or mitigate and connect with them those subconscious biases, but again, the decision is finally up to the hiring manager. You are a candidate brand. Just like global brands, product brands are being managed and nurtured, and money is being invested, taken care of, is entire those values that are associated with the brands. Your brand identity, your DNA need to be nurtured and managed. So how you really look and you act, creates a greater influence to another person. Now, in this scenario, managing your brand is a very important element. You need to manage your identity, your personality. Through digitalization and internet, there are so many ways in which someone could check out someone's personality, his demeanor, and his kind of approach to life, his values. So you got to really make sure that all the touch points and the values that you want to portray are managed through your social footprint. It's just like a global brand, how they take care of the values, make sure that all the touch points are aligned with the core proposition of the brand. So likewise, when you hire, you leave room for the hiring manager or for the employer to really check you out socially. And if there's a mismatch, that could really work inversely towards you. So very important. So take into consideration that background, that context. Let's look at 7 reasons as to why you are not really getting those calls for the interview. Number 1 reason probably would be that your resume has let you down. You might have all the competencies, all the experiences. Unfortunately, a lot of candidates really don't match your resume to the job description. So despite having competencies, your skill set, experience, transferable skills, that's, I would say, a crime that if you don't get that element right, because it's a selling document. So to really formulate and see how we can really get the hiring manager to pick your resume from the pile within 12 seconds, please visit my channel, Gethired. There's a dedicated clip exclusively to really how to formulate resumes to get picked up within that period of time. Incorporating so many elements of keywords, everything. So please visit that. So resume would be number 1 reason. Number 2 reason would be confusion. As I said earlier, you're a brand. So they will check you out externally, what's your social footprint in the world or in the corporate world. So to this effect, not only your these professional channels, but also mostly the Facebook. They say that globally about 43% of hirers or hiring managers or companies check your profile prior before you get called up for an interview, in terms of get an idea of where you are and how you are. So there can be a mismatch in terms of what you claim on your resume and probably in real life. A good example would be if you applied for a customer service role and you say that you have interactive skills with people and you're a friendly person, and you visit a Facebook and you don't have much friends and you don't socially, you're not active. So there can be a mismatch. I mean, it can be biased in terms of the interpretation, but it influence. Number 3 reason is basically what is called random blasting. That is where you have one resume you started sending to every single company. Sometimes the scary situation in the same organization, 2 positions totally different, and you have sent the same resume. It gives the impression that you are desperate. Not only that, it gives the impression that you are not focused, you are not read the job description, and that looks really bad. And that will have a permanent scar with the employee. And this is also same true with recruitment agents and hiring agents, external bodies who help you get jobs. If you, for the same role, send to the same resume, they will see that you are really not, your skill set, there's a doubt, because you are matching your skills to 2 different positions with the same skill set, with the same resume. So if you don't customize, so that will be a major problem. So, and it will create a permanent, scar. So there can be roles that are coming up in those companies, and then you will not be called despite your ideal match, because you have done what is called random blasting. Number 4 reason is over aggressiveness. Now there can be reason, this is also that is coming up very, very strong in research, that you send a resume and then you follow within 3 days, 4 days, 3-4 calls, you send the email, and you basically annoy the hiring company or the HR hiring. You just keep on following up on what you send. This is also true of working with external recruitment agents. You can't just send a resume and ask them to act overnight, within 1 week, even 2 weeks. You got to give them space. Sometimes they will feel that your resume is not the right fit, because their brand equity or their respect or their recognition is also at stake. If they feel that your resume is not the ideal, they will not forward to the company, because where they will make sure that they are professional to understand whether you have the skill set or not. So you got to give a lot of space. Besides that, sometimes you might send the resume, it's in their database, and there will be always opportunities with recruitment agents. So you got to make sure that you have a good relationship. So even without knowing you, they will call you and say there's a position like this, you might have to tweak your resume. So you need to really give them space, respect time, and create that relationship. And of course, number 5 is the LinkedIn profile. Now I can't stress you this enough. If you're going to go into the corporate world, work in the business community, LinkedIn is basically the holy grail. You got to have your presence felt there. They say that a good 41% of hiring managers around the world will not look at you as a right fit or a prospective candidate if you are not digitally present. 41%, that's quite a lot. And on top of that, a good 87% of hiring managers research you prior to calling you in for an interview, your LinkedIn profile. Again, 87 is quite high. This is global, but I'm sure in countries like us, here, Sri Lanka as well, that percentage is keep on going, adding up. And besides, LinkedIn is a great tool, because things that you can't say on your resume because it's limited, things you can't convey in an interview setup, you can always put on your link. And apart from that, you can build in testimonials from your previous employee. It enhances your chance of getting hired, because that's a great communication and great influencing tool to really get a full 360-degree view of what you can bring to the table. So make sure that you get on to LinkedIn right away and create a very professional nicely concise professional profile on your LinkedIn, because definitely every single agent in today's world will look at you prior before they call you for an interview. Number 6 is basically maybe you're not the right fit for the role. The resume has done its part. Resume has really done really well in terms of sharing and articulating your experience, but they feel that there's a better match. It can happen. And number 7 finally is referees have let you down. Meaning normally you give names of referees as for them to contact. So they contact the employers, the hiring managers contact the referees. So referees is not about just acknowledging, yeah, he worked with me, yeah, he worked, he did this thing, and just sharing functional elements and responsibilities. But if they don't sell you, if you don't show to the interviewer that whoever the caller is, that he's he's a go-getter, he's positive, he created this. If he doesn't sell your brand and there's no excitement attached to when they provide reference, that doesn't look good, because it doesn't sound convincing because you're the right candidate. So make sure when you look for referrals, your referees, list down on your resume that they take that extra care to really sell your proposition and talk good about you with positive connotations. Otherwise, speaking to referee, they say, yeah, I did these functions, and that's not convenient. So there you go. These are the 7 reasons as to most likely there can be many more, but which I could come up with some of the strong reasons as to why are you not getting their call. So try and perfect all these 7 elements and see where you can really refine, and so that it will enhance your career prospects and you will get more calls. So if you like this video, please go ahead and put a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel Gethired by clicking on the subscribe button on the screen. Please feel to share this video with your friends, and thank you for watching. See you soon.